everybody, Crystal Beaudry here. So in today's episode, we are going to be making a keto pull-apart bread roll. This recipe is so easy to make, and you know what? It's going to be a great add-on for any meal. Okay, so here is all of our ingredients. Now, first we're going to mix together all of the dry ingredients. So we're going to start with 1 cup of Vital Wheat gluten. Now, I know a lot of people have said to me in the past, gluten is not okay on the keto diet. However, Vital Wheat gluten is actually really low carb, and as long as you're not gluten intolerant, this is going to be perfect. So a cup of that, and then a half a cup of some coconut flour. I got this from Thrive, which was the cheapest place that I found it, and this I got from Amazon. For the sweetener, we're going to be doing some powdered monk fruit. Now you could use allulose, you could use xylitol, you could use erythritol, as long as it's powdered. And an easy way to do that is just put it in your blender for a few seconds and it will powder it right up. Now, if you wanted a sweeter bread, you could definitely add a little bit more sweetener. Okay, so baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and xanthan gum and salt, 1/2 teaspoon of each. Now, with this bread recipe, there's yeast in it, which is actually really exciting because most keto breads don't have yeast in it. So we're going to be doing 2.5 teaspoons of yeast, and that's it for all of the dry ingredients. And then I'm going to warm up some milk, 1 1/4 cup of milk on the stove, and then 1/4 cup of butter. Now, when you're warming it up, it is very easy to go way too hot. And if you go too hot, it's going to kill the yeast. So you don't want to do that. So maybe 105 to 110 degrees, no more than 110, and that should be good. Okay, well, I'm going to whip this all up and I'll meet you back here in a second. So first we're going to add our cup of Vital Wheat gluten. Then we're going to do our 1/2 cup of coconut flour. Then we're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. We're going to throw in our 2.5 teaspoons of yeast. All right. 1/2 teaspoon of xanthan gum, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and our powdered monk fruit, 1 tablespoon of powdered monk fruit. Just going to stir this together quick, and we'll add it in. Now, with this recipe, you do not need to knead it for a really long time, which is good. I'm just going to kind of stir it around quick. Now with the coconut flour really absorbs liquid super well. All right, so I'm just going to knead this for 1 or 2 minutes. You can kind of see that it's formed into a nice ball. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it into a log. Now, you can either cut it with a knife or you can just rip it off with your hands, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, so I have just been ripping the dough with my hands, forming them into balls, and then setting them in the pan. Now, you can measure out your balls if you want so that they're all uniformed. I personally don't really care, so I'm just going to eyeball it and see what I think looks okay. Then I'm going to put them in a warm place and let them rise. Okay, so I let these rise. They look beautiful, don't they? And now what I'm going to do is I am going to just brush the tops of them with some egg yolk. Now, what this egg yolk is going to do is it's going to make it just such a nice bread color. Give it a really good golden look to it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the oven, 350 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes. All right, well, I just pulled these out of the oven. They look beautiful. They're super fluffy. They have a nice golden top. You guys, this is going to be the perfect addition to any of your meals. Now, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, make sure to go do that, and also give this video a like. We'll see you next time. Bye.